What is up there, everybody? Citrus Aviation here with massive unboxing number 11, and I'm very excited to do this video. And we're gonna start with a bunch of different models. We have some that I bought from eBay, like this first one here, and some pre-orders. A nice little mix of them. So we're gonna start with this model right here, which is one that I've been looking for a long time in my collection. This is an eBay purchase, and it's one that a lot of collectors have wanted to get, and I have finally had the opportunity to pick one up for myself. So I'm very excited to show y'all what it is. This is, for those of you who are Delta collectors, what are some aircraft that are really hard to get? I'll tell you what plane this is. It's one of the hardest Delta planes to get. And there's been, as far as I know, only a single release of this plane ever. And I finally got my hands on it. After many years of trying to get this one, I finally have been able to find one that was at a decent price that I was able to pick up. So let's take a look at it. As this box is well packaged. The gentleman's doing their efficiency. This is a package that was shipped all the way from Germany. And so here she is, as I partly destroy the box. So if it comes from Germany, that's to give you a hint of the model company that made it. Well packaged, lots of wrapping paper. I'm very happy about that. And here's the model itself. This one, it has a heavy box, but let's show you what it is. This one is the Herpa 1/400 scale Delta 767-400. That is right. This is one of the more difficult models to get because there really aren't many, if any, 767-400s ever made. Herpa made a couple of them in 400 scale, and this is one of only, I think, 3 or 4 they ever made. The important part for me is this is the only Delta one they ever made. This is the Herpa 767-400 in the breast cancer livery. The old breast cancer livery. They have a new one, but this one I really liked because of how nice the livery always looked. The window looks really cool on the box, and it has the newer Delta titles because this model was, I want to say, released in the very early 2010s. So here's the plane in the cradle, very nice condition. Now this model was not cheap, it was pretty expensive. 93 or 94 US dollars is what I paid for it. It actually was an auction that I won, so that's really cool. There's this piece of plastic up top here, and then here's the plane itself. And it does have metal wings. Because I've heard a lot of things about Herpa models having plastic wings, but this one has metal. Take a look at how beautiful that plane is. Wow. Alright, let's take a close look at her. So taking a close look at this model, the nose shape actually looks pretty accurate for a 767 because it is a bit of a stubbier nose. And the cockpit windows, they look to be pretty good as well. If anything, they might be facing down a little bit. There is some text there under the nose talking about the Breast Cancer Society. There's the SkyTeam logo, Delta titles, Force for Global Good. We have the L2 door. Both doors would be used for boarding on the 767-400. And then we have the overwing details, which are decent. Nothing special, but pretty decent. Then we have the pink ribbon there on the engine. The engine detail inside is nothing special, but considering that this is a 767-400 mold, it's still pretty awesome. See the wing detail there. Got an L3 door. And the interesting thing about this is, I didn't realize this, but it appears the gears tilt forward. The right one doesn't want to do it, but the left one does. The gears actually tilt forward, which I find very interesting on this mold. Then we have the registration, which is November 845 Mike Hotel. And then of course we have the classic pink Delta tail this livery was famous for. And of course we have the fleet number up top. So this is an awesome model. The other side has the same basic details except for it has the forward bin door and the rear bin door. The Boeing aircraft have traditionally had a larger front bin door and a smaller back bin door. But yeah, this is an awesome model. If you can pick it up for, as in my case, about 94 US dollars, it's definitely worth to pick up. All metal model, and pretty much the only Delta 764 you can buy, so in my opinion it's worth the price. This model was purchased specifically for 2 airports to be used in Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson, and in Las Vegas, which are 2 airports that I do, Las Vegas being a new one, and Atlanta of course being one that I've done for a long time, and of course the home base for the 764s. So I'm really happy to at least get one of these. It's super cool to have one. Alright, we have another package. This one's a pretty small one, but I believe there are 3 planes in here, if I remember correctly, and they should have set from West Coast Diecast. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, this is what I think it is. Alright, it is the West Coast Diecast package. We have 3 planes in here today, including a thank you card from them. So that's really cool to get. Looks like we got both our packing peanuts and our paper, and this, ooh. Alright, didn't touch the plane. Alright, good. This is one that I'm really excited about, the Flare 737-800 from NG. I wasn't able to pick it up when it came out from the November set, but I finally picked it up because West Coast Diecast had a few, so I did buy that one. I do need it for Las Vegas, so that's why I bought that. And I think it's a cool airline. Second plane, Jazz Aviation CRJ-200 in the green livery. I saw this at Raleigh-Durham. It's a really cool plane. I'd like to get the red and orange one at some point too. I saw the red one in Chicago O'Hare twice. I'd like to get the orange one too. So, green one though is the first one. And then finally, we have a plane that I have kind of always wanted. Ever since this model was released, all the way back in 2014, is the Air Canada 787-8 by Gemini Jets. So, this is a plane that I never had the opportunity to get when it was released. I want to say it was a September 2014 release. Either that or a July, August. But this is a plane I've always wanted, and so now I have it in my collection. So let's unbox these, starting with, of course, Air Canada. I love this ice blue livery on the 788. And of course, this model does have antennas. Really cool plane, and we'll take a look at that. It's a nice model. They do sometimes fly the 787 to Las Vegas, so it's definitely a possibility to see that in airport updates in the future. Let's do the Flare. All Canadian aircraft, interestingly enough, and this is a Canadian retailer, West Coast Diecast in British Columbia, Canada. Here is the Flare. What a gorgeous new livery they got. And of course the model will be amazing. Oh, and it's got the card. I think this is my first model that has this card in it. Yeah, first one. This NG model's card right here. So that's really cool to see. So yeah, I've got the NG model's card, and of course we had the number on it and all that stuff. I'll enter this in on the website here soon. But this looks really cool. I'm very excited to have my first NG models collector card. There are going to be a few more in this unboxing too, as we got some January NG models releases as well in here. So very excited to finally get those. My first NG models collector card. And then finally we have the Jazz Aviation, now just Air Canada Express CRJ-200. Again, with these, nothing on the bottom side, but the models should be in good condition. So here we go. Let's pop this out. Gorgeous airplane. Love this livery. The white with green. It looks so nice, particularly in this lighting. Taking a look at this plane, this is a special release, as this model was actually the very first plane that NG models ever released, along with the other 2 Air Canada Jazz CRJ-200s. They released the green one, the orange one, and the red one. They were the very first releases ever. And this was in, I believe it was June 2017 was the release date. So the very first NG models release ever is what you're looking at right here. You can see we have the nose cone, the main L1 door, Air Canada Jazz titles. We got our antennas, our emergency exit, and of course the wing detail on this model is quite good, going down to the green winglet, and the main gears, which are a pain in the rear end of chalk. Unfortunately, starting with the April schedule, we're starting to get the CRJ 200s from, I think it's Minneapolis for Delta, so I'm not looking forward to that. But cool plane, the plane looks good and the cool plane fly on. You have the single bin door. Registration Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey Sierra Charlie, very nice plane. Moving to the 400 scale models, we have this Air Canada 7878. This is that 2014 release in ice blue livery. Got a beautiful nose shape there. Got the Star Alliance logo, L1 door, L2 door, and the first class cabin. Got the Air Canada titles, and of course we have business class and premium economy. Got the landing light detail down the wing root. Got the engines. These are the, I believe these are the GE-NX engines. These look really nice. The wheels supposedly roll, but don't really want to roll very well. This gear, this landing gear here looks kind of messed up. Yeah, this one's had a hard life, this landing gear. Take a look at that. It's not very good. Yeah, it definitely doesn't look very good. Of course, Dreamliner titles, L3 and L4 door. Got antennas, top and bottom. No SATCOM box on this, but we got the beautiful ice blue tail, which always looks fantastic. And of course, the fleet number up top. Last, but certainly not least, of this section is the Flare 737-800. What a cool model this is. It looks really good. The new livery, at first I wasn't a huge fan of it, but it's alright. Of course, they have a separate livery on the Max too. But this one looks pretty nice with the black nose cone. It's got the big dot with flare. I'm not exactly sure what the dot is supposed to represent, but it does look cool. I like the shaded green. I think the NG model shaded green they used on this livery is a bit too dark. It's not as dark in person as it looks on the camera, because in person it looks a bit more pastel-y, but still a little bit off. The winglet, nice green shade. Of course we have, I love the crease. You can see the crease here between the main cabin and the lower bin area. That is definitely accurate. Got overwing escape exits. Got the two, well actually no, just shows one antenna on here, so I guess the Flare just has one antenna on there. I didn't know that. Registration, of course the tail, which is very unique, of course very Flare-like. Next up we have a box from DG Pilot, and these have the Gemini January 2021 releases. You might notice the Emirates A380 there for scale. So this is a pretty big box, particularly when the A380 comes out. So yeah, let's unbox these. There are quite a few awesome models in here that I'm excited to share with y'all. Of course, these were the January releases from Gemini Jets, and there were some great planes in here. So let's take a look at these. Starting, of course, with unboxing the box, which is what you're here to see. Oh, there come the packing peanuts. Okay, to prevent a complete mess, I'm not going to turn this box sideways. DG Pilot tends to use a lot of packing peanuts, so let's take these out one by one. First plane is a United 737 MAX 8. This is a great model to add to the fleet, and one that I'm excited to have because they fly to Las Vegas. So, nice little model there. And they did fully deliver on my order. So, I ordered 3 American Eagle 175s, and they are all in here. 3 of this release, so I'm really happy about that. Because initially when I ordered it, they were like, well, it's just 1 per customer, but they were able to fulfill all of my requests. So here is 175 number 1. Here is 175 number 2. And here is 175 number 3. And then we have one last plane. This is the Gemini Jets Korean Air 777-300ER. Now this model is super cool because I have wanted a regular livery 777-300ER for Korean Air for the longest of time. There have not been many of these made, and Gemini Jets finally did a re-release. The first one they made of these was like all the way back in like 2010, or like the really old mold. And so the fact that we're getting this model on the brand new JC Wings mold, which is really awesome, is fantastic. And of course I ordered it with the flaps down, so it's pretty cool. My other Korean Air 333, which is in a special livery, has flaps down as well. Alright, let's open all these up. We're gonna start with the 175s. I don't know how many of these are going to come broken, but considering it's Gemini jets, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a couple that are broken. Although I believe DG Pilot does inspect their models. So let's take a look. These wings are, yeah, they look good. Take a look at that. Those geometry wings though. That's some wing flex right there. The real 175 don't have that. 175 number 2. Let's see how this one is. Appears to be intact. Nose gear actually looks alright on this one. Let's see if my false nose gear is right, because I know some people had some issues with it. The first one looks okay. 175 number 3. Here we go. Now I don't have to say any airport updates. Well, eventually when I get an American 175, I'll put them in. Well, now I got them. So here comes number 3. Appear to be fully intact, so that's good. All 175s are fully intact. And the nose wheels, bump off glimps look to be okay, so that's good. Max 8 for United. I'm really excited for this one. Let's open this puppy up. Look at how gorgeous this airplane looks. Max 8s are really nice. The Gemini Jets mold is alright too. Let's see. It's supposed to be fully intact. So, yep, all 4 of those came intact. So let's get that 333, which is the one I'm most excited about. Alright, here we are. The Korean Airlines 777 300ER by Gemini Jets in a 400 scale with the flaps down. This is yet another addition to my 777 collection, and this will complete Korean Air for me as I have a special livery in the 50 Years of Excellence, and now this one. Wow, what a beautiful plane. You can see the flaps down detail right there. Full focus. Take a look at how good that looks. Slats and flaps fully extended, and the wheels tilt forward and backwards. So, very nice looking plane there. Let's take a closer look at these gorgeous planes. Next up in the lineup, we have this model here, which was one I got for my birthday. Thank you once again to my brother for giving me a model. And this one today is the America West Airlines Airbus 319 by Gemini Jets. This is not the retro, this is just the regular America West 319, which is a pretty hard model to come by. And so I really want to thank him so much for giving this to me. I do love the 2000s airlines as he does, and so this model will be a nice addition to the collection for that reason. I love the box art, how they did the America West box art. Gemini just did some special box arts for America West, which I thought was really cool. So let's take a look at this plane. It is nicely protected. I think it was pretty expensive. I don't remember how much he said he paid for it, but I think it was something in the $50 to $60 range, so it wasn't cheap, but very cool airplane. America West Airbus 319. Not one that you see every day. So here we go, looking at the model, we have the America West titles with the cockpit windows and nose cone, all the details up front. There aren't as many details on this one because it's an older model. Let me take a look at the box, what year that was released. There's no release date on the box, so I'm gonna guess this was released sometime around 2007-ish. But once again, not a ton of details, but there's still all the necessary details for livery. Got the nice waviness here, got the America West tail, got the registration. Did say, yeah, of course, said Gemini Jets on the underside. Got our bin doors here on the starboard side. Got bins 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in the back. Of course, the green winglet and the green engines with the America West titles. I believe these are the IAE engines, as America West went for those and the US Airways went for the CFMs. So, yeah, this is the last, oh, well, not the last, but one of the last models I need to do an Omaha Retro Airport update. So, for those of you who are not familiar with Retro December, that is the month I do retro model airport updates. And so we're going to do Omaha in December. And I'm really excited for doing the 2000s era Omaha. It's going to be 2000s from around the year of 2000 to about 2010, what it might look like. And this will be an essential aircraft for that because America West was pretty big out of Omaha at the time. Alright, next up we have another custom model. And this one comes from the same guy who I bought all those Delta customs from. You saw that unboxing, I'm sorry. And this is another model I bought from him. There are a bunch of people who are finding out about his custom models thanks to the unboxing I did, and hopefully some of y'all are finding some really high quality models that he makes. He makes a lot of good custom. So if you wanna get some really high quality custom models, go check out his eBay Twins83 on eBay. Go check him out. He's got a lot of really good stuff. And this is yet another model from him. So this is one that I need for Atlanta, or did need for Atlanta, until the airline stopped flying this aircraft to Atlanta. But it should still come back to Atlanta in the near future. And so let's take a look at what it is. And here she is. This is the Phoenix models, Airbus 330 for KLM. This one is in the 100 years livery. If that one will come out of the box, it'd be great. Want to be super careful. Okay. Very tightly packaged, I'll say that much. There it comes out. Alright. Very nicely packaged by the seller. Once again, thank you, Ryan, so much for the awesome models. I bought, this is now my 5th one I bought from him. And the first one that's not a Gemini jet. This is also my first Phoenix models Airbus 330. So I'm expanding my range of Phoenix models aircraft as of late, because mostly I've just bought 777s from them. But, oh, this still has the sticker from the retail, so you never opened it up from this side. Alright, well, I won't do that either. I'll open up from this side. Yeah, you can feel the crease where he's opened it before. Obviously, the traditional box crease where, you know, you stuck your finger in to open the model, it happens. Once again, here is the model itself. You can see the mold looks to be pretty good. I'm interested to see how the Phoenix mold looks compared to competitors. Because so far with Phoenix, I've mostly only tried their Airbus, not Airbus, but the Boeing 777. I see something here. That's a tile. There's a couple tiles. Here's one and here's another one. So this model kind of comes disassembled. I'm gonna assume that happened in shipping. Yeah, it's the nose gear. Take a look at that. That is a nose gear wheel set missing. Now I have heard these are pretty easy to fix. You can literally just put them back on. So let's see if we can have them dumped out, the pieces dumped out really carefully. There we go. See if we can put this back together. I wasn't intending this to be the how to fix your model aircraft video, but that's what it's turning into at the moment. I just need to get this wheel to thread through the hole, and that should be good to go. Alright, there's that one in. Now I've just got to put pressure on this wheel, and then the other one should just snap on. There we go. Alright, I felt it snap in. Alright, that should be good now. Yep, that's in. Alright, landing gear has been fixed. This will probably end up going in the how to fix your model aircraft video, but doesn't quite want to stay in, so I just kind of pushed in a little bit more. Yep, that's in now. You can see the pins in. And so that's how you fix the Phoenix models wheel. It's pretty simple, mostly because you just put the one wheel that has the rod in first, and then you just slot in the other wheel next to it, push them together, and then they'll snap into place. The only problem with this is that sometimes it just takes a little bit of finagling to make it work. Now obviously the wheel doesn't really want to turn that well anymore, but I did get them in properly, so that's good. Let me see if I can move that pin back. Unfortunately, this Airbus 330, the nose wheel fell off, and it's now somewhere here in the carpet, so that's basically impossible to find. I did spend like the last 10 minutes trying to find it, but did not. So one of the half of the wheel fell off, the one with the pin in it. The other one fell on the table, and I was able to put that back in the box. So unfortunately, this one will be nose gear wheel-less, which is really, really unfortunate. Hopefully I can try and find somewhere where I can get a replacement, but right now that's quite disappointing. But yeah, let's take a look at the details of this model. So this is my first Phoenix Airbus 330, and so far I'm liking it a whole lot. The nose shape looks fairly good to an Airbus 330. We have the L1 and L2 doors. We have the KLM titles. We have KLM Air France group under the cockpit window, and then there's a city, I believe, in the Netherlands, and then there's some writing there underneath the purple line. We're gonna take a look at some of the added details a little bit later, but right off you can tell it's these little ridges here. And these are added details that are added on. The little, I'm not exactly sure what they are, but the little protrusions. And he actually put a little dot paint for each one, so you can actually put your finger over it and feel it, which is really cool. Added antenna and the SATCOM box, I believe that is molded on. We have the 100 years title. We have the KLM written on the engines. I really like these landing gears from Phoenix, how spread out the main wheels are, which is accurate for an Airbus 330. This actually looks pretty good, this landing gear. The only thing is I wish it was not silver, it was actually painted, but Phoenix doesn't paint any of the landing gears. The wing detail looks good, all the way down to the KLM on the winglet. That is really cool. Going back, we have the added antennas here, for communications. L3 and L4 door, with the registration with the Dutch flag and the European Union flag. I believe it says Airbus 330-300 right down here. We have 3 antennas on the bottom. I believe at least the red one is an added antenna. Actually, no, the red one might. I think the red one's added. There's at least 2 antennas that are added. I think the forward 2 antennas, yeah, those are added, and the one in the back comes from Phoenix. Yeah, you can tell the added ones because they have that little. They come down and they have that little antenna portion that sticks straight back. SATCOM box, I believe, is added, and then the 2 antennas there. I think those are from the factory. KLM tail, which looks really nice. Now, as per typical, that Twins 83 does, is he adds the engine swirls. Take a look at that. Doesn't that look so nice? Of course, that's nose. But take a look at that spinner detail. If I can get to focus, there you go. You can see the spinner detail right there. It looks really, really nice. Very nice job by him. So let's take a look at some things that makes this model unique and why it's so special. So if we take a look at the details he's added these 2 details up here, and he's added these yellow lights up top, and those are actually ridged. Like he's put little paint drops on them and you can feel them. Beacon light is added. That's a piece of like glossy paint, and that allows the light to reflect. Of course, there's the ADF antennas there. We have SATCOM box and antennas. I think the antennas come from the factory. Here you can see there's quite a big gap on this wing, and you can see the angle's a bit different than on the starboard side wing. So I think at some point this port side wing was re-glued, so something happened there. This horizontal stabilizer is a bit wonky. It probably will come out at some point. Here you can see it says Phoenix on the underside, and we have the added beacon light, which does reflect in the light. Let me see if I can get it to do that. Of course, it doesn't want to do it as I'm trying to film. It was doing it earlier. Anyway, it will reflect in certain lighting conditions, just like a 200 scale model does. We have an added antenna here. We have 3 added antennas in the back. I think 1 or 2 of that, the red one's added. I'm not sure about the 2 white ones, but yeah. A really nice job adding these details to make this model that bit extra special. It's just unfortunate the nose wheel and the fact that they don't fly to Atlanta right now, but I'm really happy to have the model in my fleet. My KLM fleet has grown quite a bit, and I'm getting close to finishing it. I just need a 787-9, probably an A330-200, and then that will be it. So yeah, really nice model. Next up, I got a package from the Midwest Model Store, and I'm now doing a sponsorship deal with them. And so how it works is there is an affiliate link down below where you can buy some models, and if you do that, you get a 5% discount, and I also get a small commission income from that. So for every sale, I think I get about 5% commission. So that's a way you can support the channel without actually paying me. So if you buy some models through Midwest Model Store, that helps me financially, and it allows you to get some good prices on some models. This did ship pretty quickly. That's been one of the things that he really wants people to emphasize, is that the shipping's pretty quick, and because they're in the middle of the United States, they can ship coast to coast fairly effectively, which I think is pretty cool. Alright, so in here there should be 2 models. Wow. We have 2 models in here. We have the Gemini Jets CRJ900 first release. These are little cars that you'll be seeing me use. The one to fall out. Hold up, let me try and get them out here. These are literally just little packs of like teeny 400 scale cars. If you can see that there. We'll focus. There we go. Little packs of 400 scale cars. There's like dozens of these in here. So don't want to lose these. Kind of falling out, aren't they? But these will be perfect for a new little airport project I'm doing. Some of them are falling on the floor, so I'll need to pick those up. But then here we have the other plane, which is an Airbus 330. This is the Lufthansa Airbus 330. The old Gemini Jets release. This is the old livery one. I've been trying to get this one for a long time. Ooh, that box. That box has a little bit of box wear, I'll say that much. He's had this in his personal collection, so he's recently been selling it. Yeah, that box is partly destroyed. This was a 2013 release. Model I've been looking for a long time. It's really hard to get it, but yeah, there's that. And we got even more cars in here. Let's see if I can dump them all out onto the table. We got tons of teeny little cars. So let's take a look at this little car right here. It looks to be a sedan or a coupe style vehicle, but there you can see, very simple, not super well detailed, but consider that's 400 scale, that'll be good enough. I'm gonna put this in my rental car parking lot they'll see for Des Moines when I get that airport all set up and going. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. It looks like I've got about 100 of them, so that'll be perfect to park in there. Now I've already done an unboxing on this model, but this is yet another of the 2008 release Gemini Jets Delta Connection CRJ900. I picked this up for 120 US dollars, and the plane should be in great condition. The box, not in great condition, but the model appears to be in good shape, which is what I'm going for. Here we have the Lufthansa Airbus 330. Now this box is basically destroyed to where it's basically unusable now. I mean, just take a look at that. This is the most destroyed box I've ever received, so I don't know what happened to this thing, but it was in his personal collection for a really long time, so it probably ended up in the bottom of some bins or something. But the model should still be in good shape. Let's take a look at it. Even the inside box is kind of damaged, but you can just tell the thing's been sitting around a lot. Alright, let's get out my Lufthansa Airbus 330. The wheels were on this thing. Wow, I'm kind of surprised by that. You can see it's a little bit dark here. This model's not in great condition, but it is in acceptable condition, I'll say that much. So as we take a look at the details of this model, whoopsie, here's this Delta CRJ-900. This is the Comair version, 679 Charlie Alpha, a plane I recently walked on again because this one operates now SkyWest, and last month we did get the SkyWest 900s back from Minneapolis, just for March. They went away in April, but it's really cool to get these back, and I walked on this exact airplane, so it's really cool. This plane looks really nice. Obviously it's the OG Gemini Jets release, so no problems with it. Obviously it's super well detailed. Plane looks really good, and it'll be another great 900 Endeavour Air, Endeavour Air to the collection. Yeah, pretty cool plane. Actually, this one does work for Endeavour Air, but yeah, I got it from Minneapolis, I think is where it came in from. Whereas the newer release is the SkyWest one, but this one is the older Endeavour Air release, and it looks super nice. I actually really like this one. This one I think is better than the new one, obviously, but it's really cool to have a second one, because not too many people have two. Most people don't even have one of these, but for me as a CRJ900 collector, this one is a really important aircraft, and I'm really happy to add the second one to the collection as it is more realistic for the airports that I do. Now we move on to the Lufthansa Airbus 330 2013 release. You can see the Lufthansa logo there. We have, I believe, the postal registration on the nose gear door. A330-300 that has a city in Germany. The Lufthansa titles, Star Alliance logo, L1, L2 doors. This one doesn't really have too much yellowing on it, which is really good because a lot of models in this era will yellow over time. Here you can see the engines, which are actually pretty nicely detailed. That's actually pretty good there. The landing gears are actually pretty decent on this one. I actually think the Phoenix gear is actually a little bit better on this one, but it's still pretty good. Going down to the gray winglet, we have the L3 and L4 doors. A little bit of like dirt or dust or something on here. It looks like somebody touched this with Doritos fingers. Lufthansa.com and the registration. Of course, the Lufthansa crane and the APU housing detail. This is actually a pretty decently detailed model. You can see the logo lights that light up the tail at nighttime there with little dots. Yeah, for 2013, now you can already tell by 2013 more printed details are being added to these models. Even though you didn't have aerials and such, you were having them printed on. See the L, well not L1, but R1 and R2 doors and the forward bin door. You have the 2 rear bin doors. Now the reason why there's 2 of them is the larger one is for ULDs and the smaller one is for regular bags. Yeah, you can see whatever this smudge here is, somebody touched this with Doritos fingers, so that's a thing. And then topside details as well, you can see an antenna's painted on as well as the SATCOM box. There's another antenna paint on there, beacon light. So you can see even back in 2013, Gemini Jets was starting to add more details to models, which is starting to be a thing. On the underside, not a whole lot of details, but you can see Nakadon's Gemini Jets logo, hole for the stand. See some press relief valves, landing gear doors, things like that. Another smudge here. So this guy really touched the models with Doritos fingers. But yeah, that is the last model. I'm very glad to add this Lufthansa 330 to my collection because I've always wanted one of these old livery ones, and of course it is useful for my airports. So you will see it pop into BCI. The cars are super useful. He actually sent those to me for free, which I really appreciate. So I can use that for some of my replicas. I'm just going to mention some of the highlight models for me as we go through the beauty shots here at the end. But some of the highlights for me are going to end up being obviously the Delta CRJ900. It's a plane I've kind of always wanted and always needed, and I really could have used the second one, an Endeavour Air one, so I picked up that one. Then the Calm Air ones are now split 50-50 between SkyWest and Endeavour Air, but I believe this one is one of the ones that now operates for Endeavour Air, I believe. Not sure, but I think it is Endeavour Air. It's either that or SkyWest. But either way, another Delta 900 for the collection, which I could really use for Atlanta and my Des Moines airport. A couple other highlights. The American Eagle 175 is a special highlight, which might be kind of strange because the model is not the best. It has some obviously defects because of the way Gemini just makes the 175s. But it's a model I've needed for a really long time, and I really did need to get several of them because the airports I do, you're going to see a lot of 175s that fly in, and now I no longer have to say in my videos. I'm just using the US Airways one for now, and eventually I'll get an American one. Well, now I have 3 of them, so I'll have more than enough for most of my airports, and I'll have enough 175s to do pretty much any airport that I want to. So Raleigh in particular needs those 175s, so I'm just so happy that I have it, so I no longer have to use the US Airways ones in my airport updates. I will still use them every so often, but I'm just so happy to have an American Eagle 175 now. So that's why I'm really happy about that plane. The Flare 737-800 was another really nice plane. Super awesome model there. Of course, the KLM Airbus 330 is a much needed aircraft. It's unfortunate that the nose wheel came off, but it is what it is. Lufthansa 330, another great plane. One I've needed for my collection, really wanted for a long time. It's unfortunate this sample here is dirty. I might try and find another one that's in pristine condition. But outside of it being a little dirty and the box being basically destroyed, this model is in good shape. So it definitely is something I can use in my updates. Thank you to my brother for giving me the America West A319. I'm really excited about that. I do love the older 2000s aircraft, and so it's another one in the collection there. The Korean Air 333. Great model by Gemini Jets, really well executed. Basically just take a JC Wings model and release it in a livery that people really want, and you have a great model right there. I mean, pretty simple strategy, and Gemini Jets did a good job doing it. I will give them the credit they deserve when they do a good job on something, and they did a great job on that Korean Air model. The Air Canada 787, another model I really wanted for a long time, and I finally have added to the collection. That 2014 release is really one of my favorite 787 models ever made, and so I finally have it in the collection, so I'm really happy about that. United MAX 8, great fleet builder, I've needed that, and obviously the MAX 8 will become a lot more common as the years goes on, so it's really good to pick that up. And then of course the Jazz Air CRJ200 is just something that I just really wanted in my personal collection as I saw it at Raleigh Durham back in 2014. So that one is a model for me for nostalgia reasons, and I'm really happy to add it. And of course, we don't want to forget possibly the best model from this unboxing, the Delta 767-400 in the breast cancer livery. That is such a gorgeous airplane, and I'm really happy to add that one to the collection as well, because it is a great model and an airplane that I really have always wanted a model of, and it's really hard to find one. Now, maybe at some point a regular livery one will get released, or I'll buy a custom, which will be very expensive. That'll probably cost about 150 bucks to do, but I think it'll be worth it to have a regular Delta 764 made. But the breast cancer one is super nice. I'm really happy to have that to the collection. It's the only Delta 764 ever made, so it's the one I have to get, and so I really like it. Herpa actually did a fantastic job on that model. A lot of their models aren't, you know, amazing, but that one, that's actually pretty decent. Obviously, it doesn't really stand up to the quality of modern 400 scale models, but for the time it was made, it was pretty good. So that's pretty much it for this unboxing. I hope y'all really enjoyed the video. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and God bless you.